Hi, Steve Gamache with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product video, and in this edition we are looking at the Kohetsu Western or Yo handled Aogami Super Gyuto 240mm knife. Mark had this line of knives created to replace the Hinomoto AS series of knives, and this has that core steel, Aogami or Blue Paper Super. It's reactive carbon steel. The heat treat on that core steel is about 64 Rockwell, and the company that does this is known to do a high-quality job on their heat treat. The construction is a stainless steel cladding on either side of that core steel, and so it's a three-layer sandwich. It's a little hard to tell, but the core steel does kind of show up on the edge. You can kind of catch it right there a little bit. The weight on the knife is 227 grams, or about 8 ounces. The blade length is right at 240 from tip to chin or back end of the heel area, and about 14.3 inches overall. The spine thickness above the chin area here is about 2.5 millimeter, and it thins down just a little bit as you go, kind of holds 2-ish or so millimeter, and then thins out with a bit of distal taper towards the tip, and the tip gets pretty thin right at the end here. The blade height is about 49.7 millimeters on this particular sample, so it's got a nice height to it. The handle, whoops, I forgot to put that in there, is mahogany. No, I did. Yeah, never mind. Going crazy here. So we've got mahogany handle with a nice warm look to it. Fit and finish on the overall blade is very, very good, including the handle, the bolster. There's just enough relief on the spine and the choil area back at the blade here to make it pretty comfortable on a pinch grip for handling the knife. This has a pretty nice edge, sharp out of the box with a good bite to it. I'll give it about a 6 out of 10, although of course it will get sharper if you know how to sharpen well. Let's take a look at some close-up blade stuff here. We'll take a look at the kanji. So these knives have an embossed or recessed kanji on them, nicely done, and a real well executed satin finish to the blade itself. It's nice looking. The let's see, the profile on this knife looks like this. So it's got a bit of a flat spot towards the rear third of the blade, and then flows into a bit of belly towards the tip. Not super flat, not super amount of belly, just kind of in between. The choil shots are right there, so you can see that it's pretty thin towards the edge of the blade. Let's take a look at it on our sample board here. So here's what it looks like on the cutting board. So it flows real nice into a flat spot towards the heel. You can see maybe about a back third of the blade. And we've got a kind of a gentle belly towards the tip. I can get pretty much about right there before I start digging the tip in. And it just flows nicely in there. This is probably a good general purpose profile with a bit of flat spot towards the heel for push cutting and chopping, with a bit of belly, a smooth bit of belly for some rock cutting. So if you're super flat profile, this might not be it. If you want a ton of belly, this might not be it, but it's a pretty good all-around profile in my opinion. Balance point on this blade is just a little bit in front of the bolster, so right about there, and pretty close to a pinch. So this one has a neutral feel, not too blade heavy, not handle heavy for a pinch grip. If you're on a racket grip, it'll have a little bit of a blade heavy feel to it, which is pretty standard for a lot of knives, but just a real nicely executed Gyuto. The Kohetsu, hold this up so I don't get too much reflection there. The Kohetsu Western or Yo handled Aogami Super Gyuto 240mm knife.